All the LGBT news you can handle and a little bit more. Gay Weekly Roundtable starts now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Yes, ma'am. Welcome everyone to Gay Weekly Roundtable. We're here to celebrate a lot of TV shows today. I'm happy to say I'm your host, Adam Salandra. You can find me on social media at Adam Salandra. My dancing queen to my left.
Hey everybody, I'm your host Tony Moore, and you can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony or my website, loungingwithtony.com.
I'm Yael Teagle. You can find me everywhere at Yael Teagle. That's YAELTYGIEL. And I'm keeping an eye on the chat. If the internet stays working, then I will keep an eye on it.
Technology.
Yeah.
So jump on that. And we have a very special guest today.
Yay!
A brother of AfterBuzz. Hosts his own show here called LGBTQ or sister, among many other things, which we'll talk about. Jeff Masters,
Yay!
folks. Thank you, Jeff, joining us at the table today. Guys, welcome. Or Jeff, welcome. Guys, hello.
As an ally, I am so happy to be here.
Yes, you're our first ally, our
Thank
first
you.
heterosexual, so that's very exciting.
So pleased to be here.
Yeah. Pleased to have you.
You tried it.
What are you talking about?
So adorable.
When? What?
This is like your Instagram stories.
I'm not publicly out, please. Oh my God, my Instagram. Oh, girl.
I can't.
My new
I
thing.
never know when you're joking.
Is this
Not publicly out, and then ended that with, ooh, girl.
Yeah.
Well, tiptoeing.
So my new favorite thing to do that I don't remember is that I get wasted. I do Instagram stories.
Is that what this is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this morning, I found Instagram stories. It was 3 selfies, and the first one said something about like going on a killing spree and killing my roommates.
Oh my God.
The second one said, "Just kidding. It's so hard to clean up all the blood." And the third one said something about like, "I'm lonely, need more attention."
Oh, I'm gonna be following
So
you.
one of those
That's a
is
good
true.
plug,
One of
actually.
those is true.
Yeah. You can choose.
Your Instagram stories, you do all these things, and I go, I don't know if this is real or not. I don't know what you want.
Keep them
Always
guessing.
real.
Always keep
These
them
are
guessing.
alternative facts. I did kill my roommate.
Yeah. Those are the times
the
we're living
alternative
in.
facts.
Yeah.
Well, people will be like, "Oh, I loved your Snap story from last night," and I was like, "What?" And I would look, and on Halloween there was a story, but
Oh
I didn't
my
remember
gosh.
a snippet of it. I didn't even wake up to check it because I didn't know it existed.
Well, good thing for Snap Stories.
Yeah, I think we're
God
in
they
the
disappeared.
great time that like,
Yeah.
I don't remember what I did. Oh, good, this will disappear.
Oh
in an
yeah,
hour.
well,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't post
do they-
shirtless pictures like other gay men. I'm not throwing shade, but
No, but yes, you do.
my Instagram story, I like post the sluttiest things ever because it disappears in 24 hours, and I love it.
See,
so
I'm
much.
like Snapchat can be for not even that. Now my mom follows me on Snapchat. It's all over. There's no escape. It is what it is.
I post nothing of that. I can't be scantily clad at all because I'm of a plus size woman.
Oh, I bet you could. I bet you get the
And
right angle.
I'm sorry, something wrong with plus size
thank you.
women.
Good point.
From one plus size woman to another, no, but I can't be like all on the Instagram with all my business
Girl,
out.
have you seen my Instagram?
I was gonna say I would go to
I'm scared that
@ELT
I
and see
am-
how it's
Yeah.
done.
It makes me nervous.
I am a plus size woman who is in her skivvies on Instagram, but I have
I'm
a very
obsessed.
strict
Are you looking
rule.
back at it?
No, my best part's in the front.
What is your rule?
Yeah, what is the
So
rule?
I have a very strict rule. I won't post anything that I wouldn't want my parents to see.
Yeah.
That said, there are pictures of me in my underwear on the internet, and my mom. So for New Year's, everyone did their best 6, and I went, no, screw that. I want just my cleavagey 6.
Oh, I'm
or
glad
9,
you did. Yeah, it's
whatever
definitely
it was.
9, but
What? I don't know math. So I made these photos and I posted them. My mom was like, "These are great photos," and I was like, "Mom, did you notice what they had in common?" She goes, "Yeah, your boobs are everywhere. Great photos."
she's like,
though."
I know you, but
Yeah.
I'm also saying these were very artistically
Right.
shot.
Thank you. I
So
worked
good for
real
you.
hard.
Great. Did anyone go to the Women's March this weekend?
Absolutely.
Of course, it was
Okay.
the social event of the season.
Don't I know it? And I had to miss it. And thank God you guys are here to tell me.
Oh my God! So
About
it's
it.
like this side didn't
Yeah.
go and this side went.
And we're against it. So tell us why you think it was a good idea. Obviously kidding.
So I was very happy to be there.
Yeah.
It felt so supportive, and I know in LA we had a lot of great signs covering all of the issues because it wasn't just about women's issues. It was about LGBT issues. It was immigration issues. It was Black Lives Matter. It was everything was there.
Yeah.
And I felt like we were all representing. And I know a lot of people in other parts of the world and other parts of the U.S. did not feel that and felt that there was a lot of it being just straight white women. And at least in LA, I did not feel that.
No.
Definitely not in LA, yeah.
And there was a tweet that was going viral that was like, just so you know, there's a lot of stuff about like, genitalia and like talking about women biologically and all of this stuff. And we support our trans sisters. And I went, well, duh.
Right.
Like, I don't know that needed to be said as though I don't support my trans. They're my sisters.
Right. The thing is, the people going there do. Like, it's almost like
Yeah.
you're all there, like, it's a given. But other people on the outside felt. I thought it was interesting, the debate about pro-choice, pro-life women feeling left out,
Right.
which was their choice to decide, okay, that's my feeling on it or not. But that was a part of, obviously, what you're fighting for is that
Yeah.
freedom of your own body.
Mr. Henry in the chat says, I went to the Women's March in Copenhagen in solidarity with the U.S.
Nice.
He did. I love that. That was one of
Yes.
the coolest things that got me was, first of all, I didn't know it was happening outside of the country.
I didn't either.
I loved seeing little town. I forget the town, so I'll just say Alabama. Sorry if it wasn't, but they were like, we're not all rednecks here. We're marching too. Loved it.
I agree. The small towns that marched with 60 women and
Yes.
men and other people, like, it was incredible. I think who's the tapestry singer? Carol.
Carol Kane.
Thank you. She was, I think, was in a Connecticut town, and it was
Yeah.
like 60 people and Carol, and it was like, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It really. I was kind of sad. I was so happy, but really wanted to be there, especially the more I would see
Yeah.
it.
I have to tell you too, it was the most positive and lovely crowd I've ever been a part of.
And
For
y'all
us,
were jammed in there.
Yeah.
750,000 people. Are you kidding me? Merging onto the highway in our Uber, because we Ubered down there, because public
Yes.
transportation, the metros would not stop for us because they were
Yeah.
so full. So we
I
had
bet.
Uber.
I
Yeah.
was on it. It was free.
yeah, right. But we were like farther down. So
Yeah.
like merging onto the highway, this car saw that our car was full of protesters going to march, and they were like, "Oh my God, go ahead of us, please!"
Oh, I love
and we
it.
waved, and then like they were in front of us at the light and like waved back, and like everyone was just so happy.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It was really awesome to be. You're so crowded, and if you needed to get to the right or like get around someone or whatever, you just, excuse me. Oh yeah, of course. It was the most polite people have ever been in traffic in LA.
I heard that people were like almost getting nervous because they were so like sardine. But then if someone was really about to like, oh, I'm gonna pass out, people parted the ways and helped them through. And the sisters doing it for themselves, no arrests
Yeah.
anywhere. Which I would think people would try and prod someone. How many people? 750,000?
Yeah, in LA.
Zero in LA only. No arrests.
That's remarkable.
It's
The police were so
unbelievable.
nice here.
That's great.
I at noon, we'd made it to like where the stages were, and I was starving, and I'd been up since 6, so I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I need a nap. So I was trying to find a way out, and this cop lady was like, you can't go through this way. You have to go that way. And I was like, okay, do you know what street is open so I can catch an Uber? And she was like, I don't. And she like asked the other cops, like in the middle of a protest.
That's awesome.
I was like, that's so nice of you not to be yelling at me.
Exactly.
Now, what I've noticed is that some people didn't quite understand the purpose of the march.
Yes.
Does anyone want to clarify the purpose?
I mean, are you saying
the
though
march?
people were asking what the purpose was, or they had the wrong idea about?
Both.
I think there were both. So I saw some posts going around, and even I sometimes was like, I'm not sure what we're marching for. I know what we're marching for, but because there's so many people,
If there's a
that, like,
specific thing.
yeah. So does anyone want to clarify for those who
Well,
may?
I didn't attend, but
So I'll say I read a lot of great articles of people explaining, and I think some things that need to be clarified is that it was not an anti-Trump protest. It was a women's march to support each other, to show solidarity, and to fight for our rights. So be that trans bathroom rights, or marriage rights, or women's healthcare rights. It was a way to go, our president the day before said, I'm giving the power back to the people. It was a way for the people to all get together and go, great, here's what we want.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, never mind.
Yeah.
But
Right.
that's another
And
story.
because with that, I think that it started out as like a women's march and for women's rights, and I think that as everyone came out to support, it then turned into just like we the people march, and everyone kind of voiced their opinions, and that's what I liked and enjoyed seeing, was that there was women's rights, there were gay rights, there were all these just collective of people fighting for something.
And I think that's okay because it's women, and as a man I was there showing solidarity for women, but women have many interests, including reproductive rights, including gay marriage, and so I think that's totally okay to be having signs that advocate for those things.
Yes. And it's time that we come together, all the little groups. It felt in photos to me very white, and I don't know if those were just the photos I was seeing, but I was bummed to see that, just because I thought it was a great opportunity for us to join together.
So
But
there were a lot of great signs, a lot of diverse
a lot of good
signs. I know that a lot of people felt like it was very white. I would say a few things. One, it may look white, but there are people who are mixed. There are people who, are of different ethnicities that we just assume, people that pass.
Sure.
But also, I saw a lot of Black Lives Matter signs in LA. A lot of people talking about immigration, because these are all issues that matter to all of us.
And it was, of course, open to anyone of any race. That's just how it ended up.
Of course.
Well, there is already more marches being planned, and one of them, a gay march. I don't know the exact name of it.
I heard it's supposed to be in DC during their Pride.
Yeah, I know the date is June 11th. That's
okay.
DC Pride, but it'll be, of course, across the country again. And here we go. I'm happy because I want a second chance to go out there. But I saw a status today from a gay guy who is concerned that now the march, there's so many suddenly popping up because that one was successful. Are they going to lose the power if we do a ton? What's his opinion?
I don't think so. I think that Trump keeps saying that, basically how I've taken it is that, he's given the power back to the people. Okay, well, the people are telling you what they want.
Right.
So whichever people that you're listening to are obviously not the 750,000 people who are gathering and saying, this is what we want.
Well, so just to be clear, the 750,000 is
LA.
just LA.
Yeah.
What was the total? I mean, do we even know? On the
Estimated
it was
3.3 million in America.
Amazing.
Yeah. So basically,
And that's America.
America.
Yeah, because they were everywhere.
It was on every continent.
I did a post because I didn't go. I asked people who was marching and put any photos. I got photos from Columbia, South Carolina, which is my hometown, Charlotte, North Carolina, here in LA. I'm pretty sure someone posted from somewhere else. So there were all these different photos from all these different marches that were happening.
I love that. Yeah. Well, June 11th. March, find out where your closest city's having it. Yeah. And join us, won't you?
I just want to say that I know the Women's March website has steps on the next thing that you can do.
Oh, cool, great.
Because they want to make sure that it's not, we marched and we're done.
Totally.
There's a lot to do.
Especially now that I feel like Trump's doing a ton of things at once, so that we're kind of like, what do we do next? So we got to stay focused.
Yes.
And the Indivisible movement has a lot of great action steps, and they have a PDF you can download, and they modeled a lot of their stuff after the Tea Party and how they were so detrimental to Obama's first term.
Yeah.
And they said, great, well, that worked. We can use the same methods.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is about targeting our own congressmen and women.
Right. Great. And what was that?
Indivisible.
Great.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
I'm so excited, even though there's so much to talk about. We're not talking about Trump today. We mentioned him a few times, but that was for the march. It's all entertainment stuff today, guys, and I'm really happy about that. First of all, being one thing I'm very excited about, Ryan Murphy's newest project, Feud.
Yes.
You've likely heard about it if you are a homosexual, but it's Susan Sarandon and Jessica Lange playing Betty Davis and Joan Crawford, respectively. I believe I said that in the right order. And those two had a huge feud, if you don't know, back in the 30s and 40s. Is that the era? I don't really know eras, but I do think it was that.
I got nothing.
Yeah, Entertainment, you don't know. Either way, Entertainment Weekly just did a cover story on the show, so we saw them as the first time. I think we have a picture. If we do, can we get that bad boy up? It is amazing. They look great. They look like they're people.
Yes, they really do.
But first of all, it premieres on March 5th on FX. I'll be tuning in. But with all the excitement, there's been a lot of the library is open from the past, the old library, and they're saying these are the shady things that they said about each other. So I have a few of them here.
Okay.
Betty Davis said about Joan Crawford before that she slept with every male co-star at MGM except for Lassie, which at least she made that distinction.
Also, wasn't Lassie played by a girl?
So maybe that's the only reason why. So in fact, it was every male co-star. Betty Davis said that she wouldn't piss on Joan if Joan were up in flames. So even to save her life, which, I mean, that seems harsh. My favorite one, and this is a kind of a famous quote from Betty Davis: "We must always speak good of the dead. Joan's dead, good." That was after Joan Crawford died.
Oh, wow.
Now that is that even shade?
So
That's
what
like beyond this.
So did Joan say anything about her?
Oh yeah, I was like, the only thing I have, I'm sure she did. But Betty, when they did their movie together, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, Betty Davis was nominated for an Oscar, and Joan Crawford apparently publicized against her, like, no, do not.
Yes. And
what?
We have a correction. Whatever Happened to Baby Jane came out in 1962.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
But-
yes, but that was their revival of their careers.
Right. So,
Yeah.
So would it be
But-
40s, 50s?
Well,
Still
their rivalry started in like the 30s, 40s.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so when they signed on to do Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, everyone was like, but don't they hate each other?
Oh my God, I would love to see something like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
there it is.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, I can't wait.
Jessica
Wow.
Lange looks, I mean,
Yeah, but Betty, I mean,
Susan
Sarandon
Sarandon?
too. Now, here's
Yeah.
another thing. A lot of people are mad at Susan Sarandon because of her political stance during the election, which correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't really remember. I don't think it was for Trump, but it was against Hillary. Of course, a vote for Trump.
at the end of the day, you have to tune out Susan Sarandon and look at her as this character, this person. Like, I sometimes hate when people try to cross the two, like, oh, I'm not going to support her art because of who she is or what she's or whatever. Like, sometimes you just have to block that out and just look at art for what it is.
How could you
Yeah.
not? I don't think there's
I
a right
can.
answer, but with like the birth of a nation and everything that went down with that, like because of Parker's past, the movie tanked. And we like shit on it for weeks, and it was the whole debate: the artist versus the art. And I don't know personally how to separate it.
I think it also depends on the thing, right? So like political views are one thing. I, for example, will not listen to Chris Brown music because I don't want to support someone who beats women.
It's also, though, as a sort of devil's advocate, like if Republicans felt this way, they would literally have no entertainment because
That's fine.
Hollywood, right? I understand,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, like, they have to do it all the time. It makes me feel grateful that we very rarely have someone pop up. I didn't hear this happen at the time. I heard it after. So for me, I am able to separate it, even though we're in the situation we're now in, which makes it worse.
Yeah.
I am able to, going back to like the birth of a nation comparison,
Yeah.
that are like rape charges that yes, he was like not found guilty of, but the way he spoke about it was just kind of like nasty. And then there's a rape in the movie, so there's a horrible reminder of that.
Yeah.
That to me is different than somebody voicing this political difference
Sure, right.
for Susan Sarandon.
So then are you not watching Manchester by the Sea?
I have no desire to see it.
So that's easy.
Well, then there's that.
But I
But-
think
but-
I think that so you're saying that Casey Affleck, there's a lot of accusations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that continues to get accolades and things like that.
So I do not want to see them.
I mean, I don't want to see it
I
either.
did not want to see it to begin with. That has cemented in it that I would not see it because of that, and doubly so, it makes me uncomfortable that I cannot not see the race of these two people. Nate Parker got shit for the same exact thing. He's black, and Casey Affleck is white, and we're not talking about it.
Right. Well, for me, I mean, I didn't watch either one. Okay. But I've always been the type of person where like I can separate the two. There is a story that is being told, and unfortunately, if someone is a part of that story that you may or may not like or may not agree with, that happens. But at the same time, there are so many other people who are a part of that project and so many other people who have contributed to it. And why should they have to suffer because of one person's mistake?
I think that's a great point, and that's why I think there's not a right or wrong answer.
Right.
So I'm not advocating boycott this movie, but
Yeah.
I'm saying like I personally will not be saying it.
That's kind of like A Dog's Purpose.
I was just gonna say,
And like, and that one video of what happened with the dog and the water and
Yeah.
everything like that, and actually someone actually clarified
Yeah, it's been explained what happened.
What happened, but when it first got out, all you hear is like, "Oh, they're cruel to animals
Right.
and that poor dog and blah blah blah," and it's like sometimes you have to wait for the full story to it before you start raising your hand and protesting and saying, "Don't go see this."
Yeah.
Like you.
I had a moment of feeling bad for the dogs in the wrong way, where I was like, if everyone boycotts the movie, these poor dogs, they work so hard, and then I was like, oh, that's weird.
They learned all those lines.
Yeah, right.
Oh my
They
God.
learned all those things.
Yeah.
I felt like they're on the billboards, they're getting my heart, now no one's gonna care. I felt
But
bad for them.
I do feel like, I don't. I'm just going to call them the animal people because
PETA?
No, not them.
Oh.
But there are specific people who are on set to ensure the
Yeah.
safety
Oh, yeah.
of
Yeah, the
animals.
animal people.
Yeah, see, and I feel like because I've worked on sets where they've been present and they do ensure that those animals are taken care of. So I'm pretty sure that if it were the case where they were just go dog go, like they would have shut it down immediately.
Yeah, I think it's also like it's a big Hollywood movie. It's not like some indie flick where someone brought
Right.
in their own
Right,
dog.
right.
You know, I agree that I'm sure people were there. Mr. Henry in the chat says it also comes down with how you deal with your scandal. Nate Parker declined to do an interview with Oprah to diffuse the situation. Probably not the right choice.
He
Probably
declined to do one.
Yeah,
I mean, if you had a chance with Oprah, get in there.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Waiting for
unfortunately, oh, I'm black. I should know who Birth of a Nation was about. But anyway, that story was not.
It was a slave rebellion.
Yes.
Unsuccessful one.
Well, and it's all because of that. Anyway.
Yeah.
there's that.
I am doing a play right now in Hollywood, A Normal Heart, famous gay play. And I'm telling you that because one of my cast members is in this new Duel. That's not the name
Feud.
of it, right?
Feud.
Yeah. Duel. Duel. Feud.
Yes.
And he is 23 years old, and he said he has a makeout scene with Susan Sarandon.
Whoa.
So I'm so excited to see that.
That's so you will be tuning in for that. He's 23.
Interesting.
She's,
yeah.
but
She's 95.
yeah.
Susan Sarandon's
Oh,
not 95.
94. She looks incredible. She has not aged
Yeah.
like a day.
She's
Yeah.
not in her 90s.
No, she's not. But she's not. She's
hate
older
you.
than she looks.
She may look like that when she's in.
think
She
she's in
is
her
a sex
70s.
symbol. Oh my God, she is the
Also,
sexiest woman I've ever seen.
Do
Yes.
you remember what she wore? Was it to the Oscars that she wore that like pantsuit with the bra? And Pierce Morgan was like, "You can't show off your boobies like that." No, nobody
I
remembers.
don't
that?
Not a
remember.
thing.
Unfortunately, it was a woman, so I forgot to check her out. Well, of course.
She's wearing pants.
Yeah, I know. We do love our divas, so I don't know.
do.
Boobs looked great.
Yeah, I was gonna say you noticed for a different
Yeah.
reason.
Anyway.
Anywho,
Well, speaking
Feud, get mad or don't, but coming March 5th.
Yes. Well, speaking of divas,
Yes.
we have one pop diva to talk about. So, Lifetime, as you all know, have done wonderful. Are they biopics? Is that-
Biopics.
Biopics. Tomato.
Biopsies.
Yeah,
it took me a long time.
About various people, and the one that's coming up is Britney Ever After. So let's take a look at the
Is that what it's
trailer.
called?
That's
Yes.
what it's called. Let's take a look at the trailer, and then we'll talk about it.
I'm so excited.
I'm not gonna say I was fun, because I wasn't. Everything's just kind of this blur, you know? Until you hit the rock bottom. I wanna be strong for my fans. They're what keeps me going.
All right, so Britney Ever After will premiere on Lifetime on February 18th. Britney is played by Natasha Bassett, who is an Australian actress. And
I've never heard of her before.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
They usually
It's her big moment.
They usually
Yeah.
find nobodies for their Lifetime movies.
yeah. Well, but the thing about this movie is that it does cover the rise and fall of Britney. There are some mixed feelings about it because Lifetime is doing it, and we all know sometimes it's hit or miss with Lifetime.
It's very unauthorized.
It's very Britney is not backing this at all. Unlike when they did the biopic of Toni Braxton, Toni Braxton was actually involved with that and was actually even in the last scene. But I want to know from you guys, how do you guys feel after watching the trailer about this movie?
I am a basic gay in that I'm in love with Britney. She will always be my number one of all the divas. So
I mean, she was my Beyonce before Beyonce.
absolutely, she through it all. And as you saw in that trailer, there were some rough patches.
Yes.
Which, by the way, the trailer was better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like, oh, what a train wreck. It looks fine. As a Britney fan, I have to say, I'm not offended by this, and I will be tuning in. I need to see it. I hope it is a train wreck. All the more fun to watch. I lived it. I don't, it's not like the Titanic where I need to revisit every detail. I don't know why I'm like staring into the camera.
Right. It's like you're talking to the camera.
I'm like, people,
What,
you need to know.
Titanic metaphor? Where is that going?
Why did I say it? Because
he
Titanic was
didn't
old.
live.
With this,
You know,
like
the
I
ship,
watched, like I know
the
she shook her
fail.
head. I know all that.
Yeah.
So like they're not gonna wow me with anything that I forgot. But if it's a train wreck, I'll enjoy it all the more.
Will you guys be tuning in?
I like and respect her. I would not throw myself into traffic to protect her.
Sure.
I don't have. She's not one of in my top 3 divas.
Okay, so that's a different point of view.
You will watch it if you were on a date with someone and cuddling with
If
popcorn.
I'm trying to impress a guy and he says come over and watch it, I'll say white or red. But I'm not going to turn it on
Imagine
if
if
I'm
you're trying to
home.
impress a guy, the Lifetime Britney biopic is the way to go.
That's the way
If
to
I'm
go.
dating a diehard Britney,
Yeah.
and he invites me over, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I would love to experience that with you.
But
Like
they
what
never
you
ask.
like, I like.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Because I've read the rules. But if I'm home alone, I'm not watching it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Wow. I'm gonna watch it. I'm a Britney fan. My besties in high school were crazy Britney fans. So I'm really excited about it. I feel like it's gonna be like a lot of their unauthorized where it always ends positive and it's about how she had this mishap and now is better. I have a feeling
Stronger.
Yeah, right.
I feel like we're going to probably just knowing Lifetime, they're going to want to focus a lot on the rise, the fall, and then jump ahead to
last commercial.
She's on tour.
She's in Vegas.
You know what I mean?
Which, might I say, for the haters, she looks better than ever. She seems genuinely happy as opposed to on pills happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy for her. However, the movie ends. Life so far has took a nice turn.
I'm just concerned about their portrayal of she did have a breakdown, and that was a very serious thing, and I hope that it's discussed. It's Lifetime. What am I asking
I mean,
for?
she's
I want them to discuss it seriously.
modern medicine's greatest accomplishment. The fact that she's still kicking.
Yeah. Honestly,
doing
truly, we
great.
lose a lot of celebrities,
Yeah.
or even if they don't die, their career's over. She's making so much money still at the top of her game, at the top of compared to other people, top of her game. That is amazing.
But
she
here's
was
the
on-
thing.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Now, she was on top of the world at 15 and 16.
Right.
Those crucial years, it's
Yes.
going to F anybody up.
Correct.
Yeah,
And it
but
did.
I also feel like even before she was introduced as pop diva, she had been in the spotlight since she was 11 years old on the Mickey Mouse Club. So from 11 up until she's now 35, she has been in the spotlight. So I feel like that does take a toll on you.
Sure.
We've definitely seen it. I think that this is a great chance for us to kind of get some perspective as to what she was going through the highs and the lows. I'm kind of sad that she wasn't a part of it because, okay, honey, for real, you're Britney, let's think business. I would have said, you want to do that on me? Fine. Executive producer.
Right.
And
I have final say.
Final say, money coming in. I want to make sure that my story is told correctly, unless she has some other plans.
Sure.
But if it's
Fine.
think of it, if it's garbage, she gets to say, "Yeah, I know." But if her name is attached to it and it's garbage, then it pulls her down.
Yeah,
That's a really good point.
Well, not if you're a part of it. Not if you
if she's happy with the final product, even if others
exactly
hate it.
Yeah. So I think when you attach yourself to your life story, you can make sure that it goes well and it doesn't end up being like Fantasia Barrino's
She may think
biopic where she played herself. and
You
she
know
was a
I
mess.
watched that, baby. North
there you
Carolina,
go.
shout it out.
I was like, how do you mess up playing yourself?
Okay, whoa.
You can't do that.
Whoa, I have to. Oh my God, everyone, shut up and listen to me. Okay, I saw her in The Color Purple when she came to High Point for the fans.
Oh, she was amazing.
She has this amazing voice, right? And but Celie in the show ages from 15 to like 99, and I have
Why
to
do you
tell
like giving people these high ages?
Girl, it's drama. I'm adding stakes. Okay, so we know that she's a great singer, but I was blown the F away by her acting. She gave me the performance of my life.
Yes, but she did not give you the performance of her life in her life.
All right. Now
No.
listen, that was about
No.
10 or 11 years ago.
Yes, but still. But I will
Speaking of 10 or
definitely be
11
tuning in.
years ago.
Yes. As we do in
Great.
Hollywood these
that
days.
was really nicely done. I don't know if you've all heard, but Queer Eye for the Straight Guy is coming back, and it's coming back on Netflix, I believe.
Netflix,
Yes.
The Graveyard, or is it a graveyard, or would it be the graveyard where they resurrect
Yeah,
things?
Yes.
So
So
not
like the
graveyard.
like
Not
the
a
like the
graveyard.
TV
Emergency
cemetery,
Zombie.
the
ICU?
TV
And
cemetery,
ICU.
not the pet cemetery, but the TV cemetery.
Exactly.
And I believe none of the original cast members
No.
are participating.
They're not?
They're
No.
not.
I haven't clicked on the link. One time I was like, oh good, we'll see these
They're
guys
not.
again, and I've never read the story, so
So
I'm shocked
for
to hear
anyone
that.
who I guess is a baby gay and doesn't know, from 2003 to 2007, 5 gay men worked together to enlighten.
Fabulous gay men.
I'm just reading what it says here. To enlighten heterosexual slobs in the way of fashion, food, etc.
What?
Yeah.
Did you say heterosexual slobs?
Yeah, that's what it says.
love
It's going to be rebooted on Netflix, and they had 100 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that it had 100 episodes. Anyway, so the Fab Five, they're going to have a new Fab Five. I personally, I was offended when that show came out.
Uh-huh.
I think it's dumb that we're bringing it back, especially with all, we talked about how Will and Grace was coming back and how different things are now.
Yeah.
I don't know that we need to bring back the word metrosexual.
Oh, no. That's a part of it? I agree with
No,
that.
but that's
That's what they're
kind of
going for.
what made it a universal term.
Yeah.
But I think what it was, because I did watch the show, it was kind of like, you know how, gay men always have their good girlfriend and they go shopping together and it's like, oh, do you think these shoes match this outfit?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like they were being that for straight men, because unfortunately not all straight men have the key of fashion sense.
Yeah, but not
needed.
all gay men have.
That's for sure.
True, but though that cast of people at the time
Right.
were great in their fields.
Right.
I think they'll have to do some updating to it
Well, yes.
for the times, and
I think I think maybe instead of just targeting straight men, I think it just should be people who need a little fairy dust to come in.
Yeah, I feel like Queer Eye for the.
Queer eye for the people.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because sometimes, there were some men, gay or straight,
Sure.
sometimes needs someone to come in and say, "Oh, honey, let's fix that for you."
Believe me, when I moved to
No.
LA, I had
Clearly not me.
many
Yeah, yeah.
guys in my closet being like, "This will never do," and
Yeah.
I'm still. It's been 10 years, and I'm slowly being able to
Piecing it
manage
together.
That sounds really
myself.
traumatic for you. I'm so sorry.
It was great. I mean, my shirt would have been 2 or 3 sizes too big right now if that hadn't happened. So it was
Well,
a blessing.
I had a friend do that to me. I used to always wear bigger shirts because I was a taller guy, and bigger sizes. My sleeves will actually come down to my there, and
Wrist?
Wrist, we sometimes
that's
say.
what it is.
Yeah.
And
For the audio listeners.
and my friend was like, you should wear a smaller size. And I was like, oh no, I can never do that. And then I went into a medium and I was like, she fits. She has body.
I think that's like a very common Los Angeles Cinderella story because I also moved here and my friends were like, why do you wear such big clothes?
Oh, I wasn't in Los Angeles when this happened.
really?
Well, good
No,
for you.
I was
Well,
still
I
back
But
home.
still.
I was.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do you mean? I wear medium. They're like, you're skinny. And I was, for the listeners, I'm tiny as F. No, I was like, oh, really?
Super.
And I went and like tried on a small and I was like, wait, this fits.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
I was like on a small, and then it took. Thank you. So there you go. Queer Eye for the people. It's official.
Yeah,
Queer Eye
but
for the
what-
queer guys.
Yeah.
What I do hope is that they don't eliminate the original cast and that they are able to make maybe some sort of appearances somehow.
Yeah, because truly, no shade intended. But what else are they doing? Like Carson is I think producing it.
Right.
Anyways,
Carson's producing it?
his name popped up. I thought he was in it. Now I have to go back and find
I'll-
out.
I'm not
I'll
sure.
look.
I don't think
I'll
so.
look. I
don't
but
think he
but
is.
Carson just did or is currently doing Celebrity Apprentice.
Yes.
Um,
he's doing things.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Jay Rodriguez.
But does anyone remember the others?
Well,
right.
Jay Rodriguez, he does a lot of things here locally, but he also has a lot of guest starring roles on various TV shows.
I don't see anything that says that
All
anyone's
right.
producing.
It's
it,
all
so-
new. When does this come out?
Not for a while.
Okay, so we
They
have
just
some
Yeah,
time.
I mean, I think they just announced it.
Yeah.
We are going to run out of time, so we have to talk about Jeff's show,
Yes.
LGBTQ&A. First of all, one of the best names of all time.
Thank you.
But can you tell us a bit about it?
And your most recent guest.
Yeah, it's just a interview podcast show to get to know different members of the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
All races, all genders, all sexualities, and it's just there was not a collection of our stories on the internet anywhere. And I was tired. Yeah, so this week I had Trixie Mattel on
Love
from
that.
Drag Race. He was amazing. And
I saw the picture of you guys, and he was in his little cowboy outfit.
Yeah.
It looked like, which he's secretly Southern, I feel, or like country music wanted to be.
yeah,
He's from like Minnesota, isn't he?
he's Wisconsin.
Wisconsin,
He
close.
grew up in a trailer, like off the reservation. He's half Native American, and just like grew up as like a folk person. And seeing his life now, it's kind of amazing. He was lovely, really smart. I loved hearing him talk about just like drag as a social critique.
Yeah.
He says that if drag queens are an exaggeration of women, then he's an exaggeration of drag queens.
I love that. That's
Very smart guy.
Very true, I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah,
Appearance-wise.
yeah.
I love it. That's cool. Who were some of your favorite people?
I went to Perez Hilton's house to interview him, so that was kind of awesome.
That is cool. Did he request that?
That he couldn't come to studio just for scheduling
It's
purposes.
just too busy.
And
Yeah,
his
that's
assistant
what I
was
said.
like, "Do you want to come here?" And I was like, "Yeah, but like, why are you inviting me?"
Yeah, that's cool. That's great.
Yeah, some of my favorites are like Shane Ortega was the first openly trans person to serve in the military.
Wow.
And hearing his story, he helped to get Don't Ask, Don't Tell repealed. He helped get the ban on trans servicemen and women repealed. It was amazing. And in conversation, I knew he did that, but in conversation, it came out that he's talked about this before. His mom is a lesbian and was also in the service as well. And he saw growing up how hard it was that she couldn't bring her girlfriends to like these balls and whatnot.
Yeah.
And he was like, I bet I could join the military and get this changed.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah, he joined it specifically for that purpose.
Amazing. That's amazing. I love it. I think it's very, just the reason that you said you started it, to have those stories not just preserved, but told. People that aren't, like someone like Trixie Mattel, maybe they're gonna, the kids are gonna try and find out more about, but other people who do need to have their stories told.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you. And some people are doing this, definitely, but like they're a very niche audience
Yeah.
of like lesbians only or
Right.
trans coming out stories. And I just kind of want to get beyond coming out stories.
Yeah.
Usually the least interesting part of us.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. Thank you.
yeah,
For some really
great.
cool guests too. Like Laura Jane Grace is this rock star in the band Against Me.
Yes.
She came out on the cover of the Rolling Stone magazine. Peter Page from Queer as Folk. Some really cool people.
That's awesome. Cool.
Who's
What-
on your wish list of people you would like to have in?
You know, I am obsessed with Kate Bornstein. She is kind of like the grandma of gender studies. She transitioned quite a few years ago, and she was like, you know what, I feel more comfortable in this body, but I'm not quite a female, and I'm not a man. I'm kind of both and neither. And she kind of popularized the notion of the gender spectrum and the fact that that it's not binary. So she's amazing. And there's just like Matt Bomer.
Yeah, naturally. When does it come out? When can people catch it?
We do
Well,
it every Tuesday week.
Cool. Great.
Every Tuesday.
Every
week.
Tuesday
Every
week.
Tuesday week. Wow. Cool, guys. And it's
So
right here on AfterBuzz.
Tuesdays and
right?
Thursdays
Yeah,
are gay days.
extra gay days
Yeah.
On
at
AfterBuzz.
So that's called
Join us all.
LGBTQ and A. It's a mouthful.
No, it's really amazing. It's so
There's
brilliant.
such a clever
I've known it
title.
for months now, and I'm still obsessed with the title. So love that. Sorry that we're just running out of time.
I'm livid.
We'll dig deeper next time if you'll join us. But last, we must go. Two of us have to go to San Francisco, the gayest place on earth. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Adam Salandra. You can find me on social at Adam Salandra.
And of course, you guys can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony or my website, loungingwithtony.com.
I'm everywhere at Yael Teagle. That's YAEL2YGIEL. And I have a podcast. It's called Intimate Interrogations. It's free on iTunes and Stitcher. Sometimes it is filthy, and sometimes it is not.
Sometimes it's filthy.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes it's not.
And I'm everywhere at Jeff Masters 1. Thank you for having me, y'all.
Thank you
for
for
being
coming.
here.
Yeah.
See you
That
next
sounded
time,
so
guys.
Britney. Thanks for having me, y'all.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.